What is up, guys? Part-time gamer dad here today, and I'm going to give you my official predictions for Saturday night's main event on January 25th, 2025. Before we hop into it, let's just address the elephant in the room. I am sick. I'm coming off of a cold. I'm feeling a little bit better today, so voice is still a little raw, but if it sounds a little different than usual, that's why. But let's get into the predictions. Now, this card has 4 matches, and then it also has a special contract signing being, mediated by Shawn Michaels between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes. That contract signing, no predictions necessarily, but I am excited to see this ladder match between Kevin Owens and Cody Rhodes at Royal Rumble. I think it's really great. I think having Shawn Michaels on the show is going to be fun. Maybe a little of NXT involvement beyond Shawn Michaels. Who knows? Maybe we get like a match between KO and somebody else representing NXT, or maybe there's a tag team match. Somebody from NXT joins Cody, somebody from NXT joins Kevin Owens. I don't know, but it'll be fun to have this contract signing. Really looking forward to that ladder match at the Royal Rumble. Kicking off what I think is the most easily predictable match of the whole evening, we have Nia Jax challenging Rhea Ripley for the Women's World Championship. I think this one's a no-brainer. Rhea Ripley just won the title after a really long feud and a turn to babyface and all these very emotional elements against Liv Morgan. And so I absolutely see her steamrolling through Nia Jax, very similar to what she did at the Elimination Chamber in Australia earlier this year, back in February, and retaining her title. So it's pretty straightforward. Nothing special here. You might see some interference from Candice LeRae. I don't anticipate Liv Morgan getting involved. I think it would be kind of a tired trope to have her involved. I think we're going to see a WrestleMania feud between Rhea Ripley and somebody else instead of Liv Morgan. So this should be a pretty paint-by-numbers match, having Rhea Ripley retain her title. Next up, we have 2 big boys throwing it down. We have Braun Strowman wrestling against the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. Guys, this match is going to be really fun to watch, and I think we're going to see Jacob Fatu maybe do some incredible things, and I'd love to see him pick up the win clean. There might be some bloodline involvement just because there always tends to be during a match that's involving a member of the bloodline, but how cool would it be to see Jacob Fatu put away Braun Strowman clean in this match? I think that would be great. And just also probably the most significant win for Jacob Fatu in his career so far. It's on a very big stage on NBC and Peacock with Saturday Night's Main Event airing just like all across the nation. So I have Jacob Fatu winning this match. I could see Braun Strowman winning by DQ, but I do not see him beating him by pinfall or submission. But I can very easily see Jacob Fatu pinning Braun Strowman this Saturday. Next up, in a matchup for the Intercontinental Championship, another hard-hitting affair to be sure is going to be Braun Breaker defending his title against Sheamus. And Sheamus, this has kind of like been an ongoing story of Sheamus trying to get the Intercontinental Championship away from anybody, Gunther, Braun Breaker, whoever it may be. And while I think it could happen at some point, I'd love to see it happen on Saturday. It could happen at WrestleMania. I just don't think it's going to happen this Saturday. I think Braun is going to retain the title. This is the one that I really hope I'm wrong about. Like I'm trying to be predictable and predict what WWE is going to do. And Braun Breaker retaining against Sheamus makes the most sense, but I actually hope I'm wrong here and Braun Breaker loses the title to Sheamus. But I do have Braun for the win, and namely because I think that Saturday Night's Main Event, if you listen at the last event, they don't have title changes very frequently. And I think this is a card where you could get away with no title changes. And I also think that you would want to have it on a bigger stage. Like, we give Sheamus his WrestleMania moment, if you will, by having him win that championship from Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Although you could argue 18 seconds was his WrestleMania moment, but it really was Daniel Bryan's as he kind of turned around and the Yes Movement started, and that led to WrestleMania 30. So I'm kind of getting off a tangent. All that to say, Sheamus, unfortunately, does not walk away with the IC belt. He's got to wait at least a little bit longer. Braun Breaker to retain. Next up, in what will be the main event, is Gunther defending his World Championship against Jey Uso. Main event Jey Uso, who, while I would love to see him win this match and win the World Championship, I just feel like he's always going to be a perennial, at best, upper mid-carder. He's a main event player in terms of being on the main event of Raw, SmackDown, but when is he in the main event of like the big shows, right? He went against Roman Reigns, but that's because it was Roman Reigns, not necessarily because it was Jey Uso. He was in the tag team main event night 1 of WrestleMania 39, but again, that was the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. He's been in War Games matches. Like, Jey Uso to me is not going to be a world champion at WWE, unfortunately. I just think based upon how they view world championships and the reigns that they have, look at Gunther, Seth Rollins, even Damian Priest to a degree. Drew McIntyre doesn't really count because that was to drive forward the CM Punk Drew McIntyre story. I also think that Gunther serves a bigger purpose in losing that title to somebody like a Roman or a CM Punk leading into WrestleMania, because I think we're probably going to see CM Punk or John Cena win the Royal Rumble, and then that leads to one of those two guys potentially getting the World Heavyweight Championship off of Gunther, who's a big heel. Also, a World Championship change on a Saturday night's main event. Wow, really cool. I just don't see it happening, at least for now. And I also think that there is more of a storyline going on with Drew McIntyre and Jey Uso. Drew McIntyre might screw over Jey Uso because of his vendetta against the Bloodline. So all that being said, Gunther to retain. I'd love to see Jey Uso win. I just don't think it's going to happen. And unfortunately, as I look to the future of WWE, I just don't see him getting a World Heavyweight Championship at least anytime this year or probably next. All right, guys, those are my predictions for Saturday night's main event live from San Antonio, Texas, this Saturday, January 25th, 2025. Let me know in the comments below your predictions for the show. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, if you like wrestling content, this is the place to be. We're also going to be your destination for Switch 2 news and top 10 lists, wish list, all those kinds of things. I'm going to be saving up for Switch 2. Follow Operation Switch 2 as we go through these next few months, waiting for that console to drop. Very excited for that. And as always, thank you guys so much. I will see you very soon.